The cat that came home from 80 miles away. What if your pet vanished over 80 miles from home and somehow made it back on its own? No map, no familiar route, no way to explain it. Well, believe it or not, this actually happened. This is the story of Princess, an unmistakable, beautiful, white Siamese cat with one blue eye and one green eye. Truly unmistakable. She also had a deep, almost unusual purring sound, the kind you could kind of feel as much as hear. She lived with a suburban family of 4 in the South Manchester suburb of Didsbury in England. She'd sit on the windowsill and watch the family coming and going. She loved to sleep, and she loved to be fed Trident sardines. A quiet street, a detached house, a normal, predictable life. And for the most part, Princess was just a perfect cat. One summer, the family planned a short holiday, nothing extravagant, just a 4 or 5 day caravan break in Conway, North Wales, on a caravan site. Conway is a peaceful coastal town in North Wales, known for its historical castle, narrow streets, and views out across the Irish Sea. One morning, they left. The car was packed. Suitcases, food, everything they'd need for a few days away. What they didn't realize was that Princess had climbed into the boot of the car when no one was looking, and she had hidden herself amongst the luggage. The journey took about 4 hours out of Manchester onto the motorways, through winding roads and open countryside, further and further from home. On the way, they passed Rhyl, the first North Welsh city, and soon they were in Conway. That's more than 80 miles from home. When they finally arrived and opened the boot, they couldn't believe what they saw. Princess was sitting there, looking calm and content, completely unfazed. When the boot opened, she just let out a quiet meow. At first, everybody laughed. It felt ridiculous and hilarious. Their cat had accidentally come on holiday with them, but that feeling quickly changed because they all knew the same thing. If she got out of here, she could get completely lost. So they decided to keep her inside the caravan as much as they could. Windows shut, doors checked, careful every time they came and went. For a couple of days, everything was fine. Princess stayed inside, quiet, watchful. She was always a home cat anyway. It was almost as if she knew this place wasn't home. Then came the day they decided to visit Conway Castle. They got ready, double-checked everything, and then left. Princess sat in the window of the caravan, looking cute and watching the family drive away. The castle was exactly what the family expected, and more. Its huge stone walls rose over and wrapped around the town. In the castle itself, there were narrow, winding staircases, modeled characters from the period. Wind rolled in from the sea. They spent hours there, exploring, climbing, taking it all in. Afterwards, they walked along the waterfront. They sat down on a dark green metal bench and enjoyed ice cream while taking in the breeze that drifted in from the Conway coastline. In the air, there was the smell of salt, strangely mixed with the smell of fish and chips, and the sound of the waves thrashing the heavy stones on the shore. They watched the boats drifting in and out. They watched tourists passing by. It was one of those rare perfect days where nothing feels wrong. Until they got back to the caravan. The moment they opened the caravan door, they just knew something wasn't right. Oh no! The window, it was slightly open, just enough. Princess was gone. At first, they tried not to panic. They searched around the caravan park, calling her name. Onlookers must have thought they were a bit mad. Looking under the cars, behind fences, through bushes and hedges, but they found nothing. Hours passed. Then, they went into the next day, then another day. They searched everywhere. They spoke to locals. They checked nearby roads. Princess have now been missing for 3 days. Eventually, they left a missing cat notice in a local shop with her picture. White fur, one blue eye, one green. Unmistakable. They even offered a reward of £500, but no one had seen her. No one had found her. No one called with any good news. And slowly, the reality began to sink in. Princess probably wasn't coming back home. The journey home was quiet, no music, no conversation, just that heavy feeling that something had been lost. The kids, Susie and George, were heartbroken. Susie cried. When they finally pulled into their driveway in Didsbury, everything looked exactly the same. The same house, the same street, the same garden. Nothing had changed. Except one thing. She was there. Sitting outside the front door, little Princess was alive and well. She started to meow and brushed herself against Susie. The kids were elated and made a huge fuss over her, like it was Christmas morning. She lapped it up, but obviously, she was just hoping for some sardines. Secretly, everybody was amazed, because it just didn't make sense. It couldn't make sense. They had left her over 80 miles away, in a place she had never been before. No familiar scents, no known route, no way of knowing where to go, and yet, somehow, she'd made it back home. Not starving, not injured, not exhausted, just there, waiting, as if she had simply found her way home. Even now, no one can fully explain how animals do this. Some believe it's instinct. Others think it's something we just don't yet understand. But stories like this have been reported again and again. Animals traveling impossible distances and crossing unfamiliar terrain to find their way back when they shouldn't be able to. So the question is, when Princess disappeared in Conway, how did she know where to go? And more importantly, how many animals have done the same without anyone ever knowing? If you know of a similar situation, be sure to drop a comment below. And if you enjoy true stories that sound impossible but actually happened, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because next time the story is even more unbelievable than this one. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.